think the
I
women of
agree.
Potomac are trying to play it both ways.
I agree with you. And look, I mean, I will never have children. Thank God. I never want children. It's thank God. Here I am. I want my Hamptons in my LA. I'm a horrible cold person. I like my 3 residences, my Louis. I'm horrible. I'm a disgusting person. I don't want children. If I had children, I mean, the way I was raised, there was no protection. And so I don't really think that to me, I'm not telling people how to raise their children because I would be, but I mean, I do know everything. I'm like Bethany Frankel. I mean, someone said to me, "You've been to Dubai once and you're an expert." Absolutely, you dumb bitch. Yeah. Some motherfucking scumbag said, I've been to
Come
Dubai
for me
once. I've been
again,
to Dubai
motherfucker.
once and I am an expert. And guess what? I'm also an expert on 100 countries I haven't been to. I know everything like Bethany Frankel. Now, let me tell you something.
Ooh, sipping
I
my
don't
tea.
think there's anything wrong with like not I think the world is too fucking soft. Everyone's feelings are hurt. I don't think there's anything wrong with to expose. You got to sit your children down and say this is what's happening and
I
these
would, yeah.
I like dealing with things. That is how I like to. So that's what I would do if I were a parent. I would say this is all coming out because it always comes out. I mean, and here's the deal and these things are not true and your father is your father and we will stand behind him and we will not say, I mean, look at Lala. She's these charges about Randall. And yet, I mean, what does
Oh,
she
we gotta
tell?
get into that.
Like there is that school of thought of like, I won't say anything bad about your Kim Kardashian
I'm
is the
sitting,
perfect example.
I
Kim is
want
like,
3 children. I'm
right?
sitting them down and I'm gonna go, people who say money is the root of all evil have never had money. We're doing this.
Wow.
You got a question, you come to us off camera. We're putting it all out there about your father. I don't care. You want to find out his dick size, you're about to. We're going to do it all. And these kids at school who make fun of you, they're trash. You won't even speak to them in 5 years. Spit in their face and call me. I mean, I really would. You know what I mean?
And guess what? And here's 5,000 for your invite. No, listen, I don't believe. I think, oh, my child ran the race and came in 10th. Where is their ribbon? Fuck your ribbon. Fuck your goddamn ribbon. They didn't win. Okay. This is like a tough love, people. I don't believe in this fucking. I mean, listen, that's how I was raised. And it's, say what you want. I mean, it's all worked out. I'm happy. So go and judge me. Go and judge me all day, you motherfuckers. I'm happy, really. So I don't. So that's what I think. If she's her choice to not expose the children, but I agree with you. Then pull yourself off of the damn reality show.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just speculating. I don't know if that's Ashley or Robin's motive or Giselle's. I have no idea. I'm just speculating because I just am with everybody. This was such a frustrating season to have this bullshit made up and tried to be pinned on Chris Bassett because they weren't willing to share their own stuff. It was so dumb.
And I'm not right. It was so dumb. And I'm not mad. I'm just saying, like, Robin, I like you, but just, she's
I
been
do.
very
I love
nice
all
to
of
us. She's been very nice to us. But like, yeah, you got to figure this out. So to me, it's like a bigger issue of like franchise wide. What are you going to do? Are you going to bring your real self? And if not, you can't have the fame and the money without the other stuff. It's just the audience is done. The audience came for Rinna. I mean, I think Rinna actually is great at her job, but they came for Rinna and now she's gone. They're coming for Melissa Gorga now. I mean, this audience is not what it used to be. This audience wants blood. So I do think that if Robin is back, girl, you're going to have a hard season because these people, you might be their new person. Look, Candace was their person and they've moved on, but like, I have a feeling Robin is going to be in people's fine line and they ain't going to let up. They ain't going to let up. Before we wrap up, we got a lot. I mean, this
we
was
have a
a
lot
this
to
was
get
a
to. I
big
know.
one. This was a big one. We're gonna have to talk about girls trip next time and Gerard. We have so much to talk about, Sarah.
And I know I know. Good. I want Tom Girardi in fucking jail, just like the Chrisleys, just like Jen Shaw. Anyway, go on.
We're going to discuss January. The energy was bad, people. If you looked at it, the planets were not aligning. Everybody had a bad January. I was in LA for the whole month. Socially fine, but
melting down.
yeah, my guys, my chemicals were off in January. I'm right there with you, Sarah. February's feeling good. It's feeling good. So for everyone that had a bad January, we are right there with you. There's a lot of pressure in January to put numbers on the board when you're an entrepreneur to see where the landscape of the next 12 months is going to be. I really think that's what it was in our point, in our situation. I think you and I just both did that to ourselves of like, where is each of our shows going this year? My show's not in trouble. Your show's not in trouble. It's the opposite. It's that our shows are doing so well. It's more like, what is the vision for this year? Right. And somehow,
What?
you don't, well,
Yes.
you don't have to figure that all out within, 1 to 30 days. You just need a roadmap. I like needed a roadmap. Some slight changes are coming. Everyone, you sounds like
I know you know this, but and a lot of people that listen to us also own small businesses or starting their business. But I think with your small business, when it does start to become successful, then it's almost like, okay, but how am I going to beat this year with next year? And it's like,
oh yeah,
how is it, and then it that gets into your head a little bit of like, God, I should just celebrate that it's taken me 7 years to get to a place where like the podcast is actually like an actual income. Like, this is amazing. I should celebrate. But then you just think of like, oh, fuck, how am I going to do this again next year?
Listen, my business that I ran, which I sold way back in the day, it wasn't like every year. Every year was better. It was 10 years before I sold it. So like the first 3 years were built, and I run this podcast the same way. The first 3 years were building, building, building. Maybe the fourth year more. I made more every year. And then at some point, I mean, this isn't a humble brag. I made so much money in 1 year, like say like the fourth year, that there was no way unless I was dead. So it did come down, but it was still more than the first year. And it was like, then you get comfortable in your like the middle years, you're like, I don't need it to be the same or more. It's like, this is so much. And then the last 2 years, you're like, kind of like, I'm wrapping this thing up, baby. I got to tell you. And then you sell it. So it's like, I don't know if you always need to make more. Like your goals, I think, to just do the same maybe and just figure out what works and doesn't work. More is always better. You could never have too much money. I'm sorry. There's no such thing as too much money. I personally don't want to hear that.
Oh, I agree. Me neither. I know.
The more money, the better. I love money. I love everything about money. I love the way it smells. I love the way it tastes. I love the way it sounds. I love the way it's everything. Sorry. Right? I mean, we're being honest. It's an amazing thing.
I couldn't agree with you more. I love it. Yeah. And I know we're completely indoctrinated in a capitalist society, but I don't care. I don't care. I mean, God bless you. If you can live like a socialist or you want that mindset, how lovely for you. I don't. I love capitalism and I want it all. So
I want it all. And look, does money make you happy? No, but I feel that your internal things need to be worked out regardless of money. And then once you work them out, you're either happy or not. And having like, a couple $1 million more, it makes you much happier. Yes. It buys you freedom and, buys you the ability to tell people to go fuck themselves. Okay. So we're horrible people, but guess what? Hate us, but we are honest. And unlike all that shit that you're watching on the TV, these are two people that are actually having an honest conversation with you about life.
It's so true. It's so true. It is. All right.
I would be, if I were on a reality show, I would do just what you did. I would be like, shit, you found all this out. Now you want to expose it on national TV. I'm not fighting this. Let's expose it. Let's figure out the game. Like I would be just like you. I'd be like, fine, whatever. Just please sign my damn contract. Like whatever you want, edit it how you want. There's nothing I can do. Let's let the people know these are all the bad things that happened in my life. I agree with you. Oh. Very soon, Sarah. Very soon, you and me.
It's happening. I love